city of Chicago is a bunch of blacks, whites, and grays, so that's my favorites. And that's why I like using these. Here, I just like, okay, this needs to be higher. Oh, we love erasers, man. We love them. Without them, we'd be doomed. All would be lost. The one thing about young architects is when they start sketching, they ignore the context and they wonder why it doesn't look right. It doesn't look familiar, or they just zoom in on details and it looks incomplete. But context, especially when you're drawing a skyline between the lake and the sky, is a big, big thing. Just get a different sense of what you're drawing when you do that. It's just this whole cascade of towers in the foreground here. It always sort of blends together for me. Considering I worked on two of them, I think I should stand out, but that was a long time ago and far away. We've got the breakwater here in the foreground, which is, from the 31st Street Harbor. But the Aeon goes right down, and you'll see, if you look really close, you see it lands right on the Shedd Aquarium, which is in the foreground, of course, but quite a bit in the foreground. And then one of the most beautiful, which is the Prudential, classic mid-century modern building. And Trump with its toothpick. One of the great things and why you're inspired to draw so much when you travel is because you're in a strange place. And this is, I guess, I'd like to think it's a sign of maturity that now, as a grown-up, I'm more interested in drawing where I am and sort of being in the moment instead of having to relocate myself to break loose. Another aspect of the context is that Chicago has these awesome clouds. And then we've got in the foreground the lovely McCormick Place, which is very black. And then right here, there's another nice black building. There's a lot of white in the foreground. And then I skip over that and all the way, I like to get my little quadrilateral building there. And then there's another dark tower here, but between the Aeon, there's a shadow, and there's a shadow on the Aeon. I like to get. And then, of course, the other black building is the Hancock. So now we got the gray towers. All right, AT&T is going to get the gray treatment. And then the next one is going to be the Museum Tower. It's going to get it. And then we'll give CNA a coat of gray. And the new apartment tower. And all right, it's not gray, but it's going to get it anyway. It's kind of gray. It sparkles. Let's get some texture here for the breakwater. And we're going to toss in our sailing masts. Dance around here. Some of the best sketches I did were on the cheapest sketchbooks. And I would do quick little studies that in so many ways end up being the most elegant thing. Now, the thing about water, right? It's in perspective too, right? So what's going to happen is as we get closer, I'm going to turn on my vibrator here and start introducing some white into the water. That's the other thing about drawing on crappy paper. Whenever you have lots of it, is you don't feel at all any intimidation about throwing things away. And so much about being a great artist of any type, as anyone knows, is editing. I want that lovely M pen. M, why is it M? Medium, I guess? Yeah. And I want to get, again, go for what a cityscape is all about, which is the profile. Lines can be too timid, I think. And one of my favorite techniques, and one that several architects I admire use, are big fat brushes to do their drawings. And I'm a huge fan of that, and I've done many, and I just think it's a way to really get over being timid, I guess. There we go. All right, this is what I wanted. And that is it. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. We'll call that quits. Okay, we're going to establish the horizon line. This is the beast. It's going to define everything. And a little perspective back. I'm interested how many people are down in this park. It's great. It's an awesome thing. Ping Tom would be proud. One of my early undergraduate drawing teachers in architecture school would make all these strange expressions.
Facial?
No, just remarks. One of them was all about drawing the first line. That was supposed to be the hardest.
To you, it seems to be drawing the
Always.
last one.
Yeah, it's the last one. I always thought the end, man. This is like the start is... I guess I'm just a compulsive starter. This whole area was undeveloped. Actually, friends used to come down here and ride their dirt bikes. And so, in a way, the community, the local community, and the city did a good thing and developed it in a beautiful way that's obviously really well used. I love the tugboat, man. Back in texture land at cross bracing, I love it. I'm trying to get our Chinese calligrapher friend to give me lessons on how he works with a brush. It is amazing. He has all sorts of different size brushes that are just astounding. And that is done very impulsively and very unself-consciously, actually, on the topic of consciousness and lack thereof. It is funny, when you used to draft, drafting was a really noisy process because you'd hear all this grinding and sharpening and a general...
deafening drawing.
Yeah, deafening drawing, and then...
There we go, there's the sirens.
There we go, the sirens. You just experienced a tourist moment. Okay,
Captured that
I'm
living pool. So what do you think?
I'm going to call it quits. This is one worth me thinking through.
More thought.
Yeah, well, it's a little on the graphic side, not enough. Not enough. That's even better like that. We're gonna stop.